Hello! Welcome to another episode of Simply Nerdy. I'm your host, Steven. I'm joined today by Anthony.
Hey, everyone.
By David.
Hello.
And by Lisa.
Hey there.
And by me. I'm just kidding. We are going to talk...
Joining yourself, eh?
We are here to talk about our Nintendo's 2021 year. My first game that stuck out to me this past year of 2021 was Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. I've created a lot of memories with my daughter, my oldest daughter, playing this game. And all she would do was yell and scream and hide from Bowser whenever he got enraged. And we'd just spend the whole time hiding from him. And I tried to teach her to find the cat shrines and collecting all that. And she enjoyed that too. But for the most part, it was hiding from Bowser. But we also had a fantastic time playing the campaign for the normal Mario 3D World as well, and she ate that game up this year. This is probably her favorite game of the year.
I have to agree with you, Steve. That was going to be one on my list too. My kids love that game. I played it, the Super Mario 3D World with my kids, co-op. That's got to be one of Nintendo's best co-op games, I think.
Yep.
And so they love that. And then, like you said, they love Bowser's Fury too, but often throwing the controller at me. Bowser's away! I taught them a few tricks though of how to avoid him. If you go on one of those launch pipes, you can just sit in there until he leaves, or you can try and stay underwater and he can't hurt you when you're underwater.
I have to confess I'd kind of forgotten about that one for a little bit, but I do remember having a lot of fun memories with it. I really liked Bowser's Fury particularly. I thought it was really well made, if short, little extra story, and one of my new favorite compositions comes from that too.
Yeah, great music.
I was gonna mention the music too.
Yeah, phenomenal.
The music is really, really pretty. It's definitely more in the vein of like the Galaxy games, and I really, really like those.
To be a weirdo, I would say that the Galaxy games music is a little more symphonic, and this one is a little more playful than like the large symphony sounds of Galaxy.
Maybe a little bit more big band.
As I say, you guys sure love the Bowser's death metal theme, huh?
Oh yeah!
Definitely.
Monster Hunter Rise is my second on my list because, we freaking had weekly hunt sessions together.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. Even though you all left me in the dust in the end, but that's okay. 'Cause I'm the only one in this panel who works in the evening, so that's totally fair. But, man, it was so fun. I don't know why the loop of, hunting monsters, getting new gear, upgrading your gear to destroy more monsters to get better gear. I don't know why that's so much fun.
I think for me, it's just the fact that it's the fun of the game for me comes from it being a cooperative multiplayer game with RPG elements. Maybe it's a little bit of a circular game design, like you defeat monsters to get things that help you defeat more monsters. But, I really enjoy a sense of progression. That's why I love RPGs so much. And to have it be a legitimate, deep RPG that I can play with my friends makes it, it's a huge draw for me. I think perhaps something has to be said for the fact that Rise tried to make it simultaneously more accessible while also making it, have some new elements to it. And I think that's what pulled me in. All you do is hunt monsters, and I love it.
And we have to point out that it got all four of us who've never played a Monster Hunter game before to buy the game and play it together on a weekly basis.
It released at a good time. There was nothing else big coming to the Switch at the time, so I was open to trying the next big game, right? Nintendo was pushing it a lot, and they did a free demo. So I think that was
a lot.
That was the turning point for me. I tried it. I tried a little bit of one player. I was like, this is pretty fun. Riding around on the dog, you can boost. The movement feels great, and I can play this with people. So we all tried the demo together, right? And
we did.
And that's kind of when we were sold. We're like, this is fun. Monster Hunter Rise ended up being my favorite multiplayer co-op game that I've ever played.
What am I trying to say? I remember with some degree of glee also how it kind of led us to be almost cooperatively competitive, because I felt pretty cool when I was able to tell you guys that I soloed Mizutsune. I feel like that just kind of pulled us all into trying it even more until we realized, hey, This is actually really fun.
I'm excited for Sunreach.
Oh, you heard it here first. We are all excited for Sunreach. I'm pretty sure the whole panel here is getting Sunreach. Dave?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yes. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that is to point out the fact that as a newcomer, they got me excited enough, and I liked the Rise enough that I'm gonna get the expansion. So, woo!
So the next one on my list, we're going down. I don't have a lot to say on this topic, but the Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword came out on July 16th, and that game has
HD.
always been HD, yes, has been one of the best Zelda stories in the series, and it is so good. And the new controls that they brought in with the button controls they actually worked fairly well. I played I still haven't beaten it yet. Granted, I beat it a long time ago on the Wii, but I haven't beat it on the Switch yet. But I've been playing it on the button controls the whole time, and they work very well. And I was very impressed with the way it functioned.
As far as motion controls for me, the original game, I did have some problems. Not really with it drifting or anything. I don't remember having problems with that too much. But certain enemies, like I could never seem to swing my sword the way that wouldn't get electrocuted. So.
Oh my gosh. I know who you're talking about. He's who I was thinking about. And I'm like, I hate that man. I hate him. Isn't he even just a mini boss? And I hate him the most.
He probably
there's
just several times.
There's some regular enemies that have electrified weapons, and I struggled with them too. So.
Yep, anyone with electricity.
I have not had that problem as much with the button controls. Like if I like swing and they block me and I get electrocuted, like I know it's my fault. It's not because I like waggled the controller wrong and it didn't register my swing the right way or something. So.
All right, so we're gonna move on. Metroid Dread. We've been talking about it probably too much on our channel recently with all the videos being about Metroid Dread, but it came out on October 8th, and needless to say, Simply Nerdy gave it a perfect 10 out of 10. Speaking for myself, I'm pretty sure the panel agrees with me. This is our game of the year.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, David?
Yes.
Okay.
Easily.
Okay. That is our game of the year. So our game of the year pick is definitely Metroid Dread.
So from the, I guess the panel's resident RPG fan, although I guess Lisa too, you can join in. I would also, so I agree with all of those. Those were all fantastic games that I enjoyed thoroughly. But some others that I wanted to talk about are, first of all, Bravely Default 2. It's a fantastic game. I haven't finished it yet, but I've got a problem, okay? I've got a backlog that is trying to murder me, and it's going to succeed. So is it a fantastic game? The job system is incredible. I love how well the abilities mix and match. The allure of that series is how effectively they allow you to kind of make your own team and find things that synergize in really good ways. I've heard a lot of people criticize the game for saying it has ridiculous difficulty spikes, and it's just not.
You have to grind, but no.
Yeah, but honestly, and this is true for the original Bravely Default games as well, the Bravely Default and Bravely Second, it's not that you're under-leveled, it's that you don't have an optimal team set up for that boss. And almost every single time that I've run into a boss that's wiped the floor with me, I loaded my game, changed my my party setup based on what I felt would be good counters to that boss's abilities, and I wiped the floor with them. And it's incredible. Okay, so we play that game.
Yeah, I would say I am an RPG fan, but Anthony is particularly gifted in finding synergies that are just like mind-blowingly good. So I steal all of his strats. I basically play the game and
I think
like,
we all
Anthony,
do. This whole panel
tell me the
follows
good
Anthony's
strats.
Yep.
Okay, so I have two more from this year that I have to talk about. Neo: The World Ends With You. I got that a while back on a sale because I was a huge fan of the first game and I knew I wanted to get it. I was just having trouble figuring out where it kind of fit into my backlog, especially once again after, in the wake of Metroid Dread, everything just kind of got swept to the side. But that game is fantastic. I'm kind of surprised that there are so many people who are saying that this game can't get out of its predecessor's shadow. Like I really enjoyed the first game, but I feel like this one has already convinced me that I like it better. The plot, I'm really enjoying it, but honestly, the systems are what's really, really making me happy. Like, some people, I feel like this is the area where they say it's a step down. And certainly it's not as complex, but I think that's probably for the best. The first game, basically wanted you to split your brain in half and pretend that it was actually two brains, with the top and bottom screen. Anyway, it was a very unique system that was actually pretty compelling. But this one just feels a little bit more like a whole product to me. They basically managed to simplify the original game's system while at the same time keeping the soul of it, and I couldn't be happier. It's not a perfect game. Like I honestly I don't know if there's even such a thing, but I would highly recommend playing that game. ActRaiser Renaissance.
Ah, yeah.
Yes. Okay. So this game, first of all, was just like, if you will allow it, it was like manna from heaven, because I literally was on a recent retro fling where I'm like, you know what, I want to start buying old Super Nintendo games to play on my my Super Nintendo, and ActRaiser came up. I was like, oh, that was a really good game, and so I had it on my list of things to buy, and then Square Enix announced ActRaiser Renaissance, and I'm like, wow, I think I just summoned that into existence. What I want to say, first of all, for this game is do not judge a book by its cover. The visuals are probably its weakest point. In a lot of ways, especially the 2D side-scrolling platforming segments. Performance and visuals aren't optimized, and that probably bothers a lot of people. It's something that can kind of get in the way occasionally. But, oh my gosh, that game's systems are fantastic. Just absolutely amazing. Like they basically took the original game's systems, which were already well balanced as it was, and managed to take them to the next degree in ways that made perfect sense, narratively speaking, while also just being plain stinking fun. The simulation where you're the angel and you're directing the people after you save them from the demons. That's where the game really shines. They added kind of a tower defense thing to it. I know a lot of people are probably going to be like, oh, maybe that's not for me, but oh my gosh, it's so freaking good. It makes perfect sense that's a thing that they would have that you would have to do to protect these people, and it's really well made. It's it's not extremely deep, but and again, I think that's because they were being respectful to the balance of the original game, because that wasn't a focus at all. You didn't do stuff like that. It was a very quick sequence where you guide the people to build their city and take out the monster lairs, and that's about it. But the tower defense, the addition of hero characters that you direct in these battles were amazing, and the narrative. Ooh. And then finally, here's the last thing I'll say: the music. Oh, just the music. Okay, like it's almost like the reason the visuals aren't up to snuff is because they spent all of their budget on getting the original composer to redo his soundtrack. Because holy crap.
That's not a bad way to put. That's not a bad place to put your money.
Oh, well, no,
Amen.
yeah, it was like that music it's AAA. It's easily better than most AAA albums, I would say.
Okay, well, that's all, unfortunately, for this video. I want to know what your top 2021 games are, so let me know down in the comments below what your favorite games of this past year were. And I know English. And if you like this video, please give us a subscribe and give us a thumbs up and like it. It really helps us out. Stay tuned for our next episode. We're going to talk about our hopes for 2022. Until next time.
Keep it nerdy.
Keep it nerdy.